I mean, I'm 31 years old and I'm still dating. My friends have all gotten married, they all have babies and mortgages, some of them are on their second marriages. Me, still dating. And I don't know what it was, but it finally dawned on me that the reason that none of my relationships ever worked out was because I continued to date the same type of guy, the same kind of man. Now, I don't know if any of you are familiar with this kind of guy, or maybe you dated him yourself, but all the guys that I dated were some version of the following. Yeah, I just got out of a really long-term relationship and the breakup was really rough, and so I am in no way going to commit to anything right now. But what would be really great is if you, Marcia, could sit and listen to me talk about my ex for hours. She was so great, and I don't know why she left me. So if you and I could like hash that over every time we're together, that would be helpful. And what would be even better would be if I could call you really late at night, a little bit drunk, and wake you out of a sound sleep and tell you how sad I was and how lonely I was and how much I missed my ex, and then ask if I could come over to your house at 2 in the morning. These are the guys I'm dating. They all had relationship issues. I started referring to them as the walking wounded. And I don't know if it was because I wanted to fix these guys or help these guys, I don't know what it was, but all I knew was that it was not ever going to work out. So one day, I meet a new guy, and he was very different from all the rest. Now, he did have some stuff because he was divorced, and he had a couple of kids. I think they were, I don't know, 12, 14 years old. So he is, doing the divorce thing, and he's managing all that and juggling the single dad thing. So I sat back and I watched him for a while because I didn't know if he would soon be joining the ranks of the walking wounded. But I'll tell you what, this man had no desire to live in the past. He was running toward his future, and his future was so bright. There were so many things that he wanted to do and see in his life. He was always upbeat. He was always optimistic no matter what was going on. He could make me laugh really, really hard. We had really long, interesting conversations about so many different things. He was good looking, and he knew how to cook. So after he got divorced, he realized that he liked to cook, so he would call and say, hey, can I make you dinner? Yes. So, I didn't know what I was gonna do because I really liked this guy so much. So we hadn't been dating very long. We hadn't been seeing each other less than a month, right? It's all completely brand new. When it happened, it, in this case, was a very unfortunate incident involving bats. So at the time, I was living at my apartment. It was an old house that had been divided into apartments. And my apartment was on the second floor with a walk-up attic. So there was a door at the end of the hallway, a full-size door. You open it up and you walk up a couple stairs, and there you are in the attic. It wasn't finished. I only used it for storage, so I wasn't up there very much. Apparently what happened was the siding on the house under the eaves had pulled away, and there was a hole. And bats had gotten in, and they were flying around in my attic. Then, as the weather got cooler and cooler, the bats were seeking warmth, and so they flew down to the door of the attic, made themselves really skinny and flat, and they crawled under the door, and now they're flying around in my apartment, unbeknownst to me. I had worked all day that day and had gone somewhere after work and hadn't come home in between. So when I did get home, it was late and it was dark. And I walk into the apartment, I turn on the lights, and there's the bats. And they're dipping, and they're diving, and they're figure eighting, and I lost my mind. I go screaming through the apartment. The people that lived below me thought I was being murdered. I dive under my desk, and I reach for my phone, right? So there's no cell phones. It's 1991, and there's no cell phone. So I'm on the phone under the desk to my landlord, Mr. Peterson. I said, there are 300 bats in my apartment, and you have to come over and help me get them out. And he says, there's 300 bats in your apartment? And I'm like, well, just a minute. And I look out and I'm like, there's 3. But you've got to come over and help me get them out. He says, I'm not coming over there to help you get them out tonight. He says, I'll come over first thing in the morning, I'll figure it out, I'll take care of it, you come home from work and you'll have a bat-free apartment. I'm like, you're not coming over? He's like, nope. I said, but there's bats in my apartment. And he said, good night, Marcia. And I'm like, so I'm on my own. So I combat crawl from under my desk into my bedroom. I shut the door. I shove a towel under the door so they won't, get under that door. I sit on my bed. All the lights are on with my tennis racket the whole night like this, just waiting for the bats to come. So when the sun came up, I knew I had to get up and go to work. So I managed to get up, get dressed, and get out of there without running into any bats. Later that afternoon, Mr. Peterson called to tell me that everything, coast was clear, no bats. Oh, I was so relieved. And I was really, really tired because I had not slept at all the night before. All I wanted to do was go home that evening and go to bed. Well, that evening I had a knock on the door, and guess what? It was my new guy. He had come by for a little visit. So he had a job, he had a career, but he was taking some night classes at the local university toward his MBA. So after class, he would sometimes stop by just to say hi. So he comes in, he's like, hey, so I didn't get a chance to talk to you yesterday. What's going on? And I said, oh, my day was good. It was, busy. I didn't want to tell him about the bats because I didn't want him to think that I was crazy. And I just, I said it was fine. I thought I would wait until a little bit later to, reveal all my neuroses to him. So we were sitting on the couch, and he had his arm kind of around me and loosely around, on the sofa, kind of around me. I was sitting right here next to his shoulder. We're talking, kind of snuggled. It was really nice. I thought to myself, this is so nice, but I'm so tired. I'm just going to rest my eyes for just a minute. The next thing I know, I could feel him kind of shaking me, and he's saying, wake up, I've got to go, And I'm like, and I realized that I had slumped over and I had pinned him onto the sofa. And I'm like, oh, no, I wasn't sleeping, I was just, resting my eyes, and I'm trying to get myself pulled together. I realized that my neck and my chin are completely soaking wet. I had fallen asleep and was sleeping so hard that I was drooling. And not just a little bit, I mean like mouth open, gushing, right? And I was on his chest. And so I look over, and there on his shirt is the biggest, wettest, roundest stain of slobber you've ever seen in your life. And I'm thinking, no. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. He gets up and he keeps backing up, and he had this really funny look on his face. And he's like, it's okay. I gotta go. It's okay. It's okay. And he says, I gotta go. I'll call you. And I'm like, okay, all right, yeah, good night. And I'm thinking, crap, how could this happen? I like this man so much, and I drooled on him. In 11 days, on April 17th, he and I will celebrate our 26th wedding anniversary.